you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Laura Bretaña, certified Spanish interpreter, previously sworn.
Great, thank you. And this is Judge Carter. I'm at the BRC. I'm just waiting for the defendant to come up to the podium, put the headset on. All right, he is present at the podium and has the headset on.
There is contact, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, good afternoon. Please tell me your name.
Agapito Flores.
Agapito Flores.
Sir, this is 23MO778. You were arrested for camping.
Okay.
Ms. George, did you want to say something?
There was an office resolved, Your Honor, of a withhold of adjudication and
All right, Mr. Flores, excuse me, I do find probable cause. Did you want to enter a plea to this offense today?
Ma'am. Hey.
Yes.
All right, sir. The offer from the state is a withholding adjudication and court costs. Did you want to accept that offer?
Ma'am. Ma'am.
Your
I
Honor,
apologize, Your Honor, but I don't understand what he's saying.
Your Honor, may we approach for a moment, please? Thank you.
Mr. Stokes, it's Mr. Stokes' case. Yeah, I was just thinking, I don't know if there's someone here at the jail who can help him. There's gotta be services for him. Okay, well, let's RO, because they've gotta have a spot for him somewhere. Okay, okay.
Mr. Flores? Sir, I'm going to release you this afternoon on your own recognizance, which means you're not going to have to post a bond to get out of the jail, but you will be given a court date to return. All right. Then Miss George just gave you a form that has her office's contact information on it. And then she's got some folks at her office who are going to want to probably meet with you and see if there's some assistance or some services that they might be able to help you out with. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Flores?
What did you say?
I asked if you had any questions.
No.
All right, sir. Thank you. Sir, good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
Antonio Hernandez Perez.
This is 23 CT 3754. You are arrested for driving while license suspended. There is a probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. We don't?
Sí.
Okay. All right, so sir, your bond on this matter is gonna be $500. You do have an out-of-county warrant out of Lee County, Florida for a DUI. The bond is set at none. Once you, post your bond here or resolve your Orange County case, Lee County will come and pick you up and you'll see a judge when you go. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, tell me your name.
Blander Saúl Orozco López. Blander Saúl Orozco López.
Blander Saúl Orozco López.
This is 23 CF 7307. You were arrested for lewd or lascivious behavior. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. So you are not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You are not to have any contact with any children under the age of 18, and you are not to return to the scene. Your bond is $20,000. Sir.
Your Honor, I do apologize. Was one of the conditions that you have no contact with minors?
Correct. Madam Interpreter, that's all the Spanish cases that we have.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Fuller? Good afternoon, sir.
Hi.
You are here in 23 MM 136. You were arrested for trespassing. There is probable cause. Was there an offer for Mr. Fuller?
Yeah. Your Honor, the offer from the state was an adjudication of guilt, 5 days in the Orange County Jail and no return to the Wawa located at 901 North Orlando Avenue. We would ask for a bench offer in this case where we would like credit time served, Your Honor, given that if you look at the affidavit, it was a trespass from October of last year, and my client didn't even remember that he could not go back there since it was from last year. So we're just asking for a bench plea.
Okay. And Your Honor, if you will look at the face sheet, Mr. Fuller was convicted of petty theft May 31st.
I thought that he looked familiar to me.
Yes, but it wasn't at the same location, no?
I understand.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I understand,
okay. Well, at this time, I'm gonna decline to make an offer from the bench.
Okay.
The fact that I saw Mr. Fuller yesterday. Did he want to accept the offer, or did he want to do something else?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Can, I don't know why I don't, can I have the case number? I don't have it.
23 MM 136.
Thank you. So, Mr. Fuller, your sign here. It's the same thing that we talked about. You'll do 3 more days. Thank you.
Mr. Fuller, I'm looking at your face sheet here, and it says that you're a veteran, but then it says you do not want programs. So you're not interested in getting any services with the Veterans Association in any way?
While I'm serving here,
Well, no, not while you're serving here, but when you get out.
like the VA,
Yeah.
I was with Lakeside for 25 years. Lakeside and Aspire and all that,
Oh, okay.
Lakeside Behavioral.
Yeah.
It all started with an NGI from 1987 or something like that.
All right.
Been an outpatient ever since, you know. They gave me SSI, and then when I did enough work to get credits, they gave me disability because of, slight brain damage from an injury and drugs. And it was, 87, I think, it was an NGI on a brush fire. NGI.
Okay.
Schizophrenia. I went to Chattahoochee for a while.
Yeah. But have you talked to anyone at the VA
They
about?
asked me to stay away from them. They're recommending that I go to a different area like Clearwater or Daytona or something.
All right.
Because Orange County is starting to build up.
Well, maybe that's not a bad idea. Get a fresh start, maybe. I said maybe that's not a bad idea to get a fresh start somewhere new.
Another district, anyway.
Yeah. Well, today, Mr. Fuller, did you read the plea form?
I tried to.
All right, so you understand that by entering into this plea today, we're not gonna have a trial on your case, right?
Yeah.
And you're not on probation, correct?
No.
And you understand if you're not a US citizen, this plea will result in your deportation.
Right.
All right, Mr. Fuller, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in jail with credit for 1 day time served. You will have to pay court costs due 1 year from today, or see the clerk for a payment plan, and you cannot return to the Wawa. Thank you, Mr. Fuller.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Tell me your name.
Irvin?
Augusti?
Yes.
Sir, this is 23 CF 7320. You were arrested for possession of MDMA. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $1,000, sir.
$20,000.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Jeremy Hicks.
Mr. Hicks, this is 23 CF 4575. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for sexual battery. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim, and you are not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir. Your bond is $20,000. Thank you. Mr. Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. You are here in 23 CF 7287. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is going to be set at $1,000. I am revoking the bond in the out on bond cases. All of those will be set at none. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Yeah. I know it.
Attorney,
Yeah.
set a bond for you.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
This is 23 CF 7275. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for trafficking, for dealing in stolen property. I will appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. And your bond is $1,000. You're not to have any contact with the victim. Anel,
She bonded, Your Honor.
okay. And then Ricardo Chavez? Is that you, sir?
Ma'am.
All right, Mr. Chavez. You were here in 23 MM 3825 for trespassing. There is probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Chavez?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to 4138 West Oak Ridge Road, and Mr. Chavez would like to accept and enter plea of no contest.
All right. Mr. Chavez, did you read the plea form, sir?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights on the form?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will result in your deportation?
Okay.
At this time, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You will have to pay court costs due 1 year from today or see the clerk for a payment plan. I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond cases at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. This Miss Cooper? Cooper?
Cooper is currently on mental health status, Your Honor.
And defense will waive, Your Honor. He has competency issues, so I'd ask that you take no action on the out on bond.
Okay. This is 23 MM 3824. I'll appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Cooper. He was arrested for trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. His bond is $500. He's not to return to the scene, and I'll take no action on his out on bond case. Ms. Ganton Flores? What about John Doe? All right.
And defense will waive, will waive.
Okay. I will appoint the public defender to represent him in 23 MM 3822. He was arrested for trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. He's not to return to the scene. His bond will be stayed at $500. Nazaya Gonzalez? Maybe they bonded 230-14308. 2301-4308. Donahue Hamulak. All right, I'll find a waiver based upon the refusal to come to court in 23 MM 3823. He was arrested for petty theft. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent him. It's not to return to the scene. Bond is $250. He also has 23 MO 775. He was arrested for open container. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent him in that case as well, and I'll ROR him as to that count, or that case. 23 MM 3828, Kayla Hansen. Is that you, ma'am?
Kayla Hansen.
All right, you were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia.
Your Honor, I would ask for an ROR in this case.
No objection from the state.
All right, ma'am. Are you staying here in Orlando?
Yes.
All right, and do you know where the Orange County Courthouse is?
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. When you are released, they're gonna give you a court date. You need to make sure that you appear at the court date. It'll be downtown. Otherwise, there'll be a warrant issued for
Okay, no
your
problem.
arrest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just to confirm, Your Honor, you did find PC?
Yes, thank you. 23 MM 3827, Carol Rosenblum. All right, 230-14285. Thank you. Elena Stelica? All right, 230-14291. Tanya Worster? Okay. Elijah Young? Okay. Mr. Young, good afternoon. Sir, this is 23 MM 3829. You were arrested for resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. How would Mr. Young like to proceed?
I don't know why I had it mixed up with Vincent. Can I have a moment, Your Honor? I didn't.
Sure.
Oh, he just came up. Can I?
The offer from the state was an adjudication of guilt and credit time served, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we would ask that you just stay the bond.
Okay, at this time, the court does find probable cause and the bond will be stayed at $500. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Vincent? Good afternoon, sir. This is 21 MM 8095. You failed to appear for your VOP hearing on May 15th. At this time, your bond is set at none, and we're going to give you a court date in front of Judge McGinnis.
It's gonna be July 17th at 9 o'clock in courtroom 4E.
Thank you.
Down, right?
Yes, sir.
That's it. Here you go. Oh, that's not amazing. Thank God. Whew. So much better.
Young Dennis Ashriel, terminal medical status.
And Your Honor, I will waive the appearance. I would argue no PC, as based on the affidavit, it does not state that the vehicle that exchanged something with my client was stopped at a traffic light, traffic control device, or signal. So I would ask for an ROR.
No objection.
All right, at this time in 23 MO 776, the court does not find probable cause. Mr. Dennis will be released ROR, and I'll take no action on the out on bond case. Mr. Diaz?
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think he needs the hearing device.
Maybe.
And while they're putting the hearing device on, Your Honor, do you have the case number?
I do, 23 MO 777.
Spoke to you, right?
Hmm.
It was brought up. Did I speak to you?
He was in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were in there. Just want to make sure.
Mr. Diaz, good morning, or good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sir, you were arrested for camping. There is probable cause. It looks like you're signing the plea form there.
And the offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and he would like to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of no contest, Your Honor.
All right, sir. Did you have a chance to read the plea form?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights on the form?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will result in your deportation?
Understand.
Sir, at this time, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail. You've got credit for 2 days' time served. You'll have to pay court costs. Those will be due 1 year from today, or you'll need to see the clerk for a payment plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ms. All right, this is 23 MO 779. Ms. Tabor, I'll waive her appearance based upon her refusal to come to court. She was arrested for camping. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent her. I'm gonna release her ROR.
Thank you.
Precious Clayton? Ms. Clayton, you are here. Oh, thank you. You are here in 23 CT 684 and 23 CT 685 for driving without a valid driver's license and driving with a suspended driver's license.
And there was an offer to resolve the driving while license suspended with an adjudication of guilt, credit, time served, and in exchange, the state agreed to drop the no valid, Your Honor.
Okay.
I didn't, all I saw was no valids that she had open. I didn't see any driving while license suspended that she's been convicted of.
She didn't, but she, you only have 2 things that are suspending your driver's license. You failed to appear on 2 criminal citations, and then you've got can't an insurance suspension. Did you want to try to clean your driver's license up?
Your Honor, so she would, because we have a driving program, and we could try to help her get her license.
Because I'll release her ROR if she wants to.
She does, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Ms. Clayton, I am going to write in the order that the clerk is to clear the D6 and waive any late fees, and you're to report to the clerk's office. It's gonna be in room 410 at the main courthouse to be put on a payment plan to get those tickets paid. Are you following what I'm saying? Yes? Okay. And then you're gonna have to follow up with the DMV about the insurance suspension, okay? And then work on that as quickly as possible. You're gonna get an arraignment date when you leave here. And hopefully, by the time you get to your arraignment date, you can come with a valid driver's license, okay? You do that, then the cases will get dismissed, all right?
So it's here too. You can call the attorney with any questions.
But don't drive, ma'am. Marco Galvez?
Your Honor, that defendant's not allowed.
Must have bonded 20, let's see. Where's that number? Oh, 230-14283. Yep. Yeah. Excuse me? All right, I'm gonna set him up here to the side and then we'll revisit that. Jonathan Lavoille? Okay. Whitney Turner?
I don't have a driving record.
There's no driving record?
I know, I didn't.
Okay. Ms. Turner, you're here in 22 CT 6135. You failed to appear for a status hearing on your driving while license suspended case. Ms. Turner, were you attempting to get a driver's license?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what have you done or what do you still need to do?
I still have to pay off the rest of my fine up in Kansas.
Okay, how much more do you need to pay?
I just need to pay like $200 more, my mom had said.
Okay, all right. Well then, your bond is $500, ma'am, and do we need to give her, we need to give her
Oh, I
a
have
report
nobody
date in Division 62.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
There was an offer from the state. Ms.
okay.
Turner can't afford to pay the bond. She has
Okay.
nobody here. If I could just have a moment, because she was just brought up.
Okay. Are you gonna explain the,
Mhm.
okay, perfect.
And she would like to accept the state's offer of an adjudication of guilt credit time served. Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Turner, did you read the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the constitutional rights on the form? Are you currently on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a US citizen that this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty. 2 days? I'll sentence you to 2 days in the county jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You will have to pay court costs. Those are due 1 year from today, or you need to see the clerk for a payment plan. Ms. Turner, if you don't pay those court costs, you'll have a suspension on your license in Florida. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Mhm. Yes. Rebecca Utria? Terrence White?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. White, you are here, sir, in 22 CT 1385. You failed to appear for your hearing for arraignment for driving without a valid driver's license.
And the offer from the state was a withhold of adjudication, credit time served. And Mr. White would like to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of no contest, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. White, did you read the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about the constitutional rights on the form?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days in jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You'll have to pay court costs due 1 year from today or see the clerk for a payment plan.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Alexander? Yes. No. Oh.
It's Alexander is his last name.
You don't have to do them on the phone. You don't have to give me any more. Okay. Marco Galvez. All right, so 23 CT 3753, he did bond. Okay. Mr. Alexander?
Ma'am.
All right, sir, you have 3 cases this afternoon. I will appoint the public defender to represent you on all of them. You have 22 CF 7095. You failed to appear in that case for a case management conference on January 18th of this year. Your bond is set at none. You failed to appear in 22 CF 10718 for a case management conference on May 3rd of this year. Your bond is set at none. And you also have 22 CF 14546. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for sale and delivery of cocaine and possession of cocaine. Your bond on count 1 is $750. Your bond on count 2 is $250. Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Hey, Mr. Brown?
How you doing?
Mr. Brown, this is 23 CF 7309. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $1,000, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Good afternoon, your name? Sir, this is 23 CF 7270. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and being in the park after hours. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to the park or possess any controlled substances without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is 100. Your bond on count 3 is 100.
And, Your Honor, I'd ask that you take no action on the out on bond. He was arrested January 31st of this year, and to date, no information has been filed.
All right, I'll take no action on that case, but I'm also going to add random urinalysis testing to your conditions of release, sir. Thank you. Sir, good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Luis Cisneros.
Mr. Cisneros. This is 23 CF 7317. You were arrested for trafficking in fentanyl and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm gonna set bond at $100,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. You are not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. Thank you, sir. Yes. Mr. Cologne?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is 23 CF 7338. You were arrested for trafficking in methamphetamine, attempted sale and delivery, and possession of cannabis.
Your Honor, I would argue no PC as to the attempted sale and delivery. Based on the affidavit, there's no indication that a sale or delivery had occurred based on the affidavit.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. So the court finds probable cause as to count 1. Bond will remain at $50,000. Bond, he'll be ROR'd as to count 2, and he'll be ROR'd as to count 3. You're not to possess or consume any controlled substances, sir, without a valid prescription.
And Your Honor, Mr. Cologne can't afford the $50,000 bond. I was gonna ask if you would consider reducing the $50,000 bond in this case. How much can you afford? He can afford 10,000 to post. He can pay 10,000 to get out. Oh, he said if you could set it at 10,000, he can get his parents to help him pay. Because he said his parents just had to pay rent, so they're posting the bond and they can't afford the 50,000.
I think at this time, I'm gonna leave it at the 50,000, and he can file a bond motion in Division 10, sir, and that way your parents can come to court, your lawyer can file a motion, and you can have an actual hearing to determine the amount, because you get one bond hearing for that, and if your parents, I think you're gonna wanna know exactly what your parents can help you with, so you can get the right bond amount. Okay? Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Your name, please.
Sheila of the Lens.
Sir, this is 23 CF 7321. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for lewd or lascivious
Your
battery.
Honor, defense will waive the reading.
Okay.
And I would, based on my reading, Your Honor, I would ask that you not revoke the out on bond. It appears it occurred on the exact same date. Did you look? Oh, then I messed the year up.
Looked it up too.
Okay. I just looked at the 20, the date. I didn't look at the year.
Ms. George, I did the exact same.
Okay.
But it's a year difference.
Oh, okay, I see.
Ms. Eugene, is he entitled to bond?
Yes, Your Honor, he is entitled to a bond for the new law offense. With regard to the out on bond, formal charges have been filed. He was out on bond when this new law offense occurred, so I would ask that you revoke his out on bond and hold him at no bond. Just as an added, a motion has been filed to revoke his bond in that out on bond as well, Your Honor.
I did see that. Okay. So I am going to revoke the bond in 22 CF 6030, and it looked like that case was actually set for trial soon. And bond will be set at none. Bond on count one, was an information filed in the new case yet?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so bond on count one is 20,000, bond on count two is gonna be 5,000, bond on count three will be 1,000. Sir, you are not to have any contact with the alleged victim. And you are not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Your Honor, if he could have no contact with any minors?
Sir, you're also not to have any contact with any children under the age of 18. Thank you. Mr. Johnston, is that right? Sir, this is 23 CF 7305. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to the scene. And, sir, I'm revoking your bonds. It's Division 11 and Division 20. 23 CF 2438 and 23 CF 4316. Those will be set at none.
Your Honor, what was the bond account on the new law?
$1,000.
I'll let the attorney know. You picked up a charge. Yeah, we'll file a motion.
Mr. Ellis? Good afternoon, sir. This is 22 CF 10685. You failed to appear for pretrial on May 3rd. At this time, your bond is $500, sir.
Okay, can I explain this?
You can definitely,
Went to, run the judge,
hold on.
okay, I did 37 days, they didn't pick up the charge, so they let me go.
Okay. But you had court, you had to come, right. But that doesn't mean the case is dismissed. It just means the state attorney hadn't filed on it yet.
Yeah,
So they let you, they can't hold you in the jail anymore. But then they must have filed charges and then you were supposed to be in court on May
well, I
3rd.
got failure to appear,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, your lawyer will file a motion and get you brought over in front of the judge in Division 20 as soon as possible.
How much is my bond?
You're at 500.
I can get out $500 bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So-
All right, sir, thank you. Mr. Gerald? Hello, sir. You were here in 23 CF 7300. You were arrested for burglary of an unoccupied dwelling, criminal mischief less than $200, and petty theft of $100 or more. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count one is $3,500. Your bond on count two is $100. Your bond on count three is $100, and you are not to return to the scene. Thank you, sir. Mr. Hall?
Hall refused his appearance, Your Honor.
I'll find a waiver of his appearance based upon his refusal to come to court in 23 CF 6817. I'll appoint the public defender to represent him in all of his cases. He was arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for a delivery of a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a convenience store, sale or delivery of fentanyl, delivery of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a convenience store, and sale and delivery of cocaine. Bond on count one is 15,000. Bond on count two is 150. Bond on count three is 150. Bond on count four is 150. He's not to return to the scene. And in 23 CF 7296, he was arrested for possession of cocaine. There's probable cause, and bond is $1,000. Mr. Jean?
So, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. This is 23 CF 7312. You were arrested for fleeing and eluding.
Yes, ma'am.
There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Just give me a second, Mr. Jean. All right, sir, your bond is $4,000. Thank you. Selvin Lara? Leo Lejeune? Are you Mr. Lejeune?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Excuse me. Mr. Lejeune, this is 23 CF 7292. You were arrested for possession of MDMA. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is $1,000. Mr. Lejeune, I'm revoking all of your out on bond cases. 23 CF 4914, that'll be set at none, that's Division 14. 22 CF 13954, that's Division 20, that'll be set at none. 23 CF 1839, that's Division 14, that will be set at none. 23 CF 2446, that's Division 12, that'll be set at none. And 23 CF 4942, excuse me, that's Division 10, that'll be set at none.
Nope.
Ms. Lowe? Hello, how are you today? Hi, Ms. Lowe, thank you, I'm well. You are here in 23 CF 6770. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause habeas for burglary of a dwelling and grand theft third degree. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in both of your cases. Your bond on count one is $2,000. Your bond on count two is $150. You're not to return to the scene or have any contact with the victims. In 23 CF 7288, you were arrested for driving while license revoked as a habitual offender. There is probable cause. Your bond is going to be $500.
The crime.
Ma'am, good afternoon. Your name?
Kristen Ann Mascarelli.
This is 23 CF 4768. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for burglary of a conveyance, fraudulent use of credit cards over $100, and petty theft. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. Your bond on count one is $2,500. Your bond on count two is $150. Your bond on count three is $100. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, can I ask you the thing? I don't even know idea what this even is.
You don't qualify.
What this is, I have no idea.
Your Honor, do you have the victim's name?
I don't even know what this is about.
I didn't print it. But there's no contact. You have it, Brenda?
Haley Palumbo?
So you can't.
What did you say, Ms. Eugene?
Just in case management, we have it listed as Haley Palumbo. I haven't looked at the actual paperwork to confirm that.
What?
do not qualify, I can tell you. You have, it's the, you don't qualify, the crime doesn't qualify.
It's alleged that you're not to have any contact with. Are you Miss Melvin?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Melvin, this is 22 CF 3702. You failed to appear for case management on January 24th of this year. At this time, ma'am, your bond is set at none, and you will see a judge in Division 14. Thank you. Mr. Michael?
Yes.
Sir, you have two cases. I will appoint the public defender to represent you in both. You have 23 CF 7159. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for written threats to kill. Your bond, sir, is 2,500. You're not to have any contact with the victim, possess any weapons or firearms. You were also arrested in 23 CF 7284 for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. Your bond on count 1 is 1,000. Your bond on count 2 is 100. Thank you, sir.
So can I get up on?
Yeah.
I can?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can.
Mr. Perry? Sir, this is 21 CF 16242. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for failing to appear at pretrial conference on March 29th of this year. Your bond is $2,500, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is 23 CF 7321. You were arrested for aggravated battery on a pregnant person. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I couldn't tell if this was a domestic violence case actually or not.
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I think they happen to be neighbors. She went to his house and then she went back to her own home.
Okay, just said Mr. Phillips advised that he was having a small argument with her in regard to her being jealous because he didn't want to be with her. I don't, okay. Mr. Phillips, you can't have any contact with Miss Morris, you understand? Okay. So I understand that you might be neighbors, but if she's outside, because you can't be within 500 feet of her, so if she's outside, you can't go outside.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir. Your bond's $2,500.
Well.
Thank you. Hey, Mr. Rahim?
Judge.
This is 23 CF 7319. Sir, you were arrested for fleeing and eluding. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. And at this time, sir, your bond is $4,000. Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name?
Ruben Roland.
Mr. Rowland, this is 22 CF 7065. You were arrested for failing to appear for court on February 21st of this year. Your bond is $1,500. You also failed to appear in 22 CF 11480 for case management conference on May 11th. Your bond in that case is set at none. You'll have to see a judge or see the judge in Division 22. Thank you. Yes.
Defense will waive, Your Honor.
I will appoint the public defender to represent him in 23 CF 7310. He was arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. Bond on count 1 is 1,000. Bond on count 2 is 100. Skylar Trudell. All right, I will waive his appearance based upon his refusal to come to court. In 23 CF 7295, excuse me, he was arrested for trafficking in a controlled substance, possession of a weapon, and commission of a felony, and carrying a concealed weapon.
And, Your Honor, defense would argue no PC to the trafficking in a controlled substance over 4 grams. The substance that was found was Suboxone. Yeah, Suboxone, and based on the statute, Suboxone is not one of the substances that it falls under that statute, C1, subsection C1. It's actually a Schedule 3 substance, so defense would argue no PC
Okay.
for the trafficking over 4 grams.
Technically, Your Honor, it is not specifically listed. A Schedule 3 drug is listed under C1, I believe it is, but it's supposed to be over 28 grams, so there is no PC.
Okay. So I'll find PC for possession of a controlled substance, possession of a weapon in the commission of a felony, and carrying a concealed firearm. Bond on count 1 is 15,000. Bond on count 2 is 2,500. Bond on count 3 is 500. He's not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription or possess any weapons or firearms. Robert Tyson. All right, Mr. Tyson, this is 22 CF 5296. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for carjacking. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Ms. George, were you asking to have his bond hearing at a later date?
Yes, Your Honor.
And wait, no, he's entitled to a bond. This is just an
Oh.
F1. There was no weapon
There was a
involved.
weapon attached.
Okay.
That's what I was looking for. Yes. History. Okay. Mr. Tyson, are you currently working?
Wait, hold on. Mr. Tyson, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Tyson, are you currently employed?
No, ma'am.
You gotta say it loud.
No, ma'am.
How long have you not been employed?
Since like, it's been since like 97, but I've been in and out of jail and prison.
And were you currently incarcerated recently?
Yes, like 13 months in Lake County.
So you've been incarcerated for 13 months, correct?
Yes.
And at this time, how much can you afford in a monetary bond?
I'm guessing, I think that my family maybe could come up with probably $1,000.
Okay, and how long have you resided in the Orlando area?
All my life.
Okay, and you have family here in Orlando?
Yes, ma'am.
You have kids here in Orlando?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How many?
Oh, I have no questions, Your Honor. I apologize. I have no questions for the defendant. I would just ask the court to make note of his criminal history, including a resisting without that he was convicted of May 25th of this year.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Well, at this time, the court is going to set bond. And I reviewed the probable cause affidavit as well. I'm gonna set bond at $50,000, no contact with the victims, and possess no weapons or firearms. Thank you. All right, the court will be adjourned. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, okay, thank you. You may be seated. And then could I have appearances for the record, please, beginning with the state?
Brenda Eugene, on behalf of the State Attorney's Office.
Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Thank you. I'll call the interpreter.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Rafael Barreras, State Certified Court Interpreter, and I have been previously sworn.
Great, thank you. Good morning. This is Judge Carter. I'm at the BRC. I have the defendant at the podium. He doesn't quite have the headset on yet. All right, he has it now.
See. Your Honor, the interpreter can confirm that this defendant is able to hear through the headsets.
Excellent. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Christian Joel Berrios. Christian Joel Berrios Ayala.
Christian Joel Berrios Ayala.
Okay, Mr. Ayala, you have several cases. I will appoint the public defender to represent you on all of them. You have 23 MM 3830. You were arrested for battery.
And Your Honor, the state did talk about this. I tried to find the second battery. I couldn't pull anything up. I did not see any other batteries for him. I know he has a warrant for a battery allegedly, but I don't see any type of facts. All I have is the petty thefts, and the other open case was when he was arrested, where the officer states he allegedly battered
So
Christian.
do you have case number 23 MM 3830?
That's the case that I have where you can see the actual facts. However, on the warrant case, I couldn't pull up anything. The state couldn't pull up anything either. I'm not.
Just a second. It was weird too because it's
Mhm. Yeah, sure. Okay, and you can see that it's separate. I just wanted to confirm.
date of offense is May 31st. And this is June 1st.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
So as I was stating, sir, you were arrested for battery. There's probable cause. You are not to return to, or excuse me, you'll need to.
Your Honor, I apologize. He was arrested on the 1st, but I think if you continue reading, he was arrested for the incident that happened the day before on May 31st. Right? So I think the issue is that they've given two case numbers to this same incident.
Maybe. Not 100% sure. It sounds like it. So, because I don't know what the original report is. It may be the warrant. So what I'll do today, I think, is just, I'm gonna ROR 3830. Okay, and then that can get worked out in the filing. And then we have 23 CF 7316, which is possession of cocaine. There is probable cause for that offense. Your bond is $1,000. And then there's 23 MM 3836, where you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for battery domestic violence. Sir, you are not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You're not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. And can you change that division? Okay, so that, I'm gonna change the division from 82 to 50. And then, you can have a one-time return with law enforcement to make things. I'm not sure if I said that, sir. And bond will be $500. Delete the no return. And then you were arrested in 23 CF 5357 for petty theft with 2 or more prior convictions, 2 counts pursuant to a probable cause warrant. The offense dates are between April 9th and April 11th. Sir, you're not to return to the scene. Bond on count 1 is $1,500. Bond on count 2 is $100. I'm revoking the bonds in 23 CT 2226. That will be set at none. And in 23 CT 2227, bond will also be set at none. Thank you, sir. Okay. Mr. Interpreter, on this next case, I'm gonna need you to do it over the loudspeaker. The alleged victim also needs your assistance as well.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Sir, good morning.
Buenos días, caballero. Your Honor, the interpreter did not hear a response from the defendant.
He doesn't, he speaks English.
Do you speak English?
The victim needs the interpreter.
Got it. Okay. All right, sir, good morning. Just so, Mr. Interpreter, it's just the alleged victim that needs your help.
Correct, Your Honor. So would you, just to confirm with you, would you like me to interpret proceedings for the victim or just the victim's testimony?
The entire proceeding, please. So I'll go
All right,
slow.
thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is case number 23 CF 7315.
Este es el caso 23F 7315.
Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Buenos días, caballero. Por favor, dígame su nombre. Oscar Sutien.
Oscar Sutien.
Oscar Sutien.
Mr. Sutien, you have been arrested for battery by strangulation
Señor Sutien está siendo arrestado por un cargo de agresión física, estrangulación
and 3 counts of battery domestic violence.
y 3 cargos de agresión física, violencia doméstica.
There is probable cause.
Existen indicios razonables.
I will appoint the public defender to represent you.
Voy a designar a las oficinas del defensor público para que los representen.
All right. Could I please have the 3 of you raise, well, does everyone need the Spanish interpreter?
Todos necesitan los servicios del intérprete en español.
Miss Santana, are you the only one that needs the Spanish interpreter?
Señorita Santana, usted es la única que necesita los servicios del intérprete. My apologies, the interpreter is not able to hear anyone in the witness area.
Okay. Miss Santana, thank you. Yep, come right to the microphone. There you go.
Gracias, acérquese al micrófono.
Could you raise your right hand, please, to be sworn in?
Por favor, levante su mano derecha para prestar juramento.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Usted jura solemnemente o afirma que el testimonio que usted va a dar será la verdad, toda la verdad y solamente la verdad ante Dios.
Sí.
Yes.
Ms. Santana, would you like to have contact with Mr. Soutine?
Señorita Santiana, ¿usted desea tener contacto con el señor Sutien?
No.
No.
Thank you, ma'am. Was there anything else that you wanted to say this morning?
Gracias, señora. ¿Algo más que usted quisiera agregar en el día de hoy?
No.
No.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Ms. Ortiz?
Señorita Ortiz.
There's two of us.
Crystal? Thank you. Good morning, Crystal.
Morning.
Did you want to have contact with Mr. Soutine?
Not at all.
Anything else you'd like to tell the court this morning? No? Okay. And Loida? Good morning.
Good morning.
Did you want to have contact with Mr. Soutine?
Not at all.
All right. Was there anything else that you'd like to inform the court of?
I would like to go ahead and proceed with child support.
Okay, so you will need to go down to the Department of Revenue, or I think they have an office in the courthouse.
Okay.
And I believe it's on the 5th floor.
Okay, 5th floor?
Okay?
Perfect, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so.
And the interpreter will now continue interpreting proceedings for the Spanish-speaking witness.
Perfect, thank you. All right, Mr. Soutien, at this time, you are not to have contact with any of the alleged victims.
Señor Sutien, en este momento se le va a prohibir tener contacto con ninguna de las tres víctimas.
You are to maintain a separate residence.
Se le exige mantener una residencia separada.
You may return one time with the police to get your things.
Puede regresar una sola vez para recuperar sus pertenencias personales, acompañado de un agente del orden público.
And you are not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Y no se le permite portar armas de fuego o armas blancas.
I am going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Usted será colocado en el programa de libertad provisional en este momento.
Thank you. Do y'all have any
Gracias.
questions?
¿Ustedes tienen alguna pregunta?
No? Okay, thank you.
Gracias.
And I believe that's everything for this morning. Thank you very much for your help.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a good morning. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thanks so much. Bye. Mr. Ruth, is this your client? No, you're next. This is virtual. Shoot. Uh-oh. Pardon me? All right, hold on. I'm just gonna connect this person and then we'll do them next. That was Mr. Bryant that you just took back, correct? Okay, I'm gonna set that to the side. Good morning, this is Judge Carter. Is there someone on the line? Is there anyone there? Did we tell them a specific time? Just like the 9 o'clock hour? Did she say? You, Mr. Gordon? Mr. Gordon is the virtual though, right? Lamar Bryant is the virtual. Gordon is his client. This is Mr. Howard? Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is case number 23 CF2143. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for aggravated stalking, attempted burglary of an occupied conveyance, criminal mischief over $1,000, and assault. I will appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with the police to get your things if needed. And you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Mr. Howard, do you have any questions about what I've just ordered?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. Your bond on count 1 is 3,500, bond on count 2 is 150, bond on count 3 is 150, bond on count 4 is 100. Thank you, sir. Did he have another case? Oh, he does. Hold on, Mr. Howard, I did flag that. You were also arrested for in 23 MM 3815 for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. All right, I'm gonna RORUS to each of those counts, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Your Honor, did you find PC?
Yes, thank you.
That's a lot.
Is there anyone on the virtual line? All right, so we can take, yeah, Mr. Ruth's case. I'm gonna, should I leave that open? Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna take that and try.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, good morning. This is Judge Carter. Who am I speaking with?
Are you speaking, is this me that you're hearing? Nick Congelosi.
Okay, sir, I'll just need you to stand by for a moment. I'm gonna finish up this case and then we'll bring out your client, okay?
Of course, I'm so sorry.
That's okay, no problem. Thank you. All right, Mr. Ruth, this is 22 CF 2995. Good morning, Mr. Gordon.
Good morning.
Mr. Gordon was arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for violation of probation.
Yes, Judge, we were looking to try to resolve it today. I understand you can't do that today, so we'll try to resolve it at the VOP arraignment.
Okay, and yeah, so the bond is set at none. It's a Division 10 case. This is Judge Blackman. Do we have the arraignment date with Judge Lattimore? June 8th.
Perfect. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Thank
Have
you.
great
Have a good
day. to see
weekend.
you, too.
Mr. Congelosi? Are you there? Sir? Mr. Congelosi? All right, Mr. Bryant, your attorney had just come on the virtual screen, and I told him to stand by because I had to finish that last case. I don't know what happened. Are you
Hello,
there?
I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Now I can, but I just said your
Oh,
name
okay.
a few times and you didn't respond.
Yeah. Something's going on with the audio here. I apologize.
That's okay. Do you have your camera on?
I do not. I don't have the ability to have a camera right now. I'm not at my desk.
Okay. Well, I have Mr. Bryant present at the podium in the courtroom. We have two cases before the court this morning. 22 CF 1746, which is a violation of community control, and 23 CF 7323. Mr. Bryant, you were arrested for trafficking in fentanyl greater than 4 grams, 6 counts of sale, well, excuse me, 3 counts of sale and delivery of fentanyl, 4 counts of sale and delivery of cocaine, possession of fentanyl, another count of sale and delivery of fentanyl, and sale and delivery of cocaine. Mr. Congelosi, did you want to be heard?
Your Honor, it seems that there are bonds set. Can you hear me now?
I can.
It seems that there are bonds set in all matters except
The community control, the violation of the community control.
correct. We would ask that the court set a reasonable bond for release pending litigation of the VOP. If not, we'd have to leave it on for the VOP arraignment with the trial division judge.
Okay. So at this time, the court finds probable cause for the offenses. I will stay the bond as to each count. Mr. Bryant, you are not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription. Bond will remain at none on the violation of probation as he's not entitled to a bond on the VOP. That'll need to be discussed with either Judge Lattimore or the judge assigned to Division 12. Mr. Bryant, I believe your violation of probation arraignment is going to be on the 8th of June in front of Judge Lattimore, and then your attorney can certainly file a bond motion in Division 22 once you get the violation of probation situation squared away. Okay, all right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Sorry for the issues. Take
Oh,
care.
no worries. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Good morning. Are you Miss Holloway?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, ma'am, this is 23 CO 646. You were arrested for loitering for an unlawful purpose. There is probable cause. Was there an offer for Miss Holloway?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer from the state was a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, and Ms. Holloway would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
Miss Holloway, did you have a chance to read the plea form?
Yes.
Did you have any questions about any of the constitutional rights
No.
on the form? Are you on probation?
No.
And do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes.
I'll accept your plea, withhold adjudication, sentence you to 3 days in jail with credit for 3 days' time served. You're going to have to pay court costs. Those will be due 1 year from today, or see the clerk for a payment plan. Thank you, Ms. Holloway. Mr. Johnson?
Johnson's on mental health status.
Defense will waive, Your Honor.
All right. This is 23 MM 3804. I will appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Johnson. He was arrested for trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. He's not to return to the scene. Bond will remain at $500. Good morning. Your name?
Julio Aradia.
Give me 1 second. Sir, this is 23 CF 7314. You were arrested for grand theft 3rd degree and battery dating violence. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You can go back 1 time with the police to get your things, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir. Do you have any questions about what I've ordered?
No, pretty clear.
Okay. All right, so bond on count 1 will be 1,000, bond on count 2 is 100. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
Bryson Carter.
Mr. Carter, this is 23 CF 6033. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, domestic violence. There is, this was pursuant to a probable cause warrant. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You can go back 1 time with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Carter, do you have any questions about what I've just ordered?
No, ma'am.
Your bond, sir, is $3,500. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Do you want to waive the appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. This is 23 CF 7324. He was arrested for aggravated battery with a weapon and burglary of an occupied dwelling. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent him. He is to have no contact with the alleged victim. He is to maintain a separate residence. He can return 1 time to get his things if needed. He's not to possess any weapons or firearms. Bond on count 1 is $2,500. Bond on count 2 is $1,000. Mr. Hunt? Sir, this is 23 CF 7329. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, battery on a person 65 years of age or older, and battery domestic violence. There is probable cause for all of the offenses. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You, sir, are not allowed to have any contact with either of the alleged victims. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return with law enforcement to get your things, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about what I've just ordered?
I do not.
Okay. Mr. Hunt, your bond on count 1 is $2,500. Bond on count 2 is $150. Bond on count 3 is $100.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name, please?
David Farai.
How do you say your last name?
Farai. Bogiages.
Bogiages?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Bogiages, this is case number 23 CF 5836. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for battery by strangulation and for battery. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Ma'am, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Selena Wynn.
All right, you're gonna have to speak right into that microphone.
Okay.
It's hard to hear. Tell me your name again.
Selena Wynn.
All right, and Miss Wynn, do you want to have contact with Mr. Borges?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Do you have any fear of him?
No, he is no threat.
Do you live together?
Not as right now.
Okay. Any concerns at all about your safety if I allow contact between you two?
No.
Miss Eugene, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Anything?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So at this time, I'm going to order that you are not to have any hostile contact with Miss Wynn. That means you can't be aggressive toward her in any way. And you are not to possess any weapons or firearms. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Bond on count 1 is going to be $1,500. Bond on count 2 is $100. Ma'am, did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Good morning, Jim.
What's your last name, Jim?
Serrano Otorola.
This is 23 CF 6145. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for battery by strangulation and for battery. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You can return one time with the police to get your things if needed, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Do you have any questions about what I've just ordered?
I have no questions.
All right, sir, I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Wade.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, this is 23 CF 7336. You were arrested for written threats to kill or do bodily harm to another and assault. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Are you Miss Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Brown, did you want to have contact with Mr. Wade?
Yes, I want to drop the charges.
Okay, so I'm not able to do that. I don't have the authority to do that. The state attorney is who makes the decision as to whether or not they're going to file formal charges against Mr. Wade. So you can certainly contact their office and express your wants to them, but I can't
Okay.
dismiss the case, okay? Are you afraid of Mr. Wade?
No, ma'am.
All right. You've been with Mr. Wade for 9 years?
Yes, ma'am.
And have there been instances of violence between the two of you in the past?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I don't have any other questions. Ms. Eugene, did you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Wade, at this time, I am going to order that you are not to have any contact with Ms. Brown. You are to maintain a separate residence. You can have a one-time return with the police to get your things if needed, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. That is not a final order. That order can be modified by the judge that's assigned to the division. But today, based upon the information that I have, I think that's the best course of action.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about what I've ordered, Mr. Wade?
No, I understand why.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so no questions?
no, ma'am.
All right. Bond on count 1 is going to be $1,500. Bond on count 2 is $100. Ms. Brown, did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
What is?
Ms. Casa Major? Is that you? Come forward, please. Good morning. Ma'am, this is 23MM 3826. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You can have a one-time return with the police to get your things, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Do you have any questions about what I've just ordered?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Because the apartment is in my name. I have the lease. It's
Okay.
in my name and my daughter's name.
Got it. So I'm not saying that you can't be there. He just cannot be there if, or is it? Yeah, if he's there, you can't be there. I can't make him leave. That's a civil process. So if you have the legal right to the property, you're gonna have to go down to the courthouse. You need to go to the 3rd floor. There's a self-help center there, and they'll be able to direct you as to what you need to do regarding possession of the property. But until you do that, you can't stay at the property. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay.
See, he knew what he was doing.
All right, ma'am. Your bond is $500. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Hello.
Oh, good morning.
Are you Miss Etienne?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, ma'am. This is 23MM 264. You were arrested for battery domestic violence.
It's not true.
I'm not saying that it is. I just have to tell you why you're here, okay?
No problem.
All right. So as I was stating, you are, have been arrested for battery domestic violence.
Yes, ma'am.
There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. At this time, you are not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You can go back with the police one time to get your things, and you cannot possess any weapons or firearms. Do you have any questions about what I've just ordered?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay, the reason why he's happening because he don't have
Stop.
eviction.
No, I'm asking, do you have any questions about the conditions of your release that I've ordered?
Yes, that's the question I have. He don't have eviction.
What's
He don't have eviction because he has to leave the house in 5 days.
You're being evicted from the house?
Yes.
Okay. So,
That's why he called cops for me because he was upset about that.
hold on. I don't need you to explain to me about how this happened. I just want to make sure that you understand that you can't have contact with him.
Yes, I do.
You can't live together, and you can't possess any weapons.
Yes, I do.
And, Your Honor, she was saying that he has an eviction.
Yes.
She's evicting him from the property. He has to leave within 5 days.
Okay.
I just want to make sure she understands that until he leaves, she cannot live there.
That's right. Once he's gone,
Okay.
you can be there.
Okay,
You
no
just can't be
problem.
there together.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
All
So-
right. Anyway, I don't stay in the house anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna place you on pretrial release, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? You'll be released later today.
All right.
Thank you.
Millicent Green. She's on behavior status, but she has a victim in the.
Oh, sure. Is that Ms. Fountain? Ms. Fountain present? Ms. Fountain, you can come forward. Good morning. This is case number 23MM3820. Ms. Fountain, what did you want to tell me this morning?
I'm here on behalf of my daughter, Millicent.
So I need you to speak right into that
I'm
microphone.
here on behalf of my daughter, Millicent Green. She deals with mental health. She's diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenic.
Okay.
The episode where she physically attacked me, and made several threats. The officer came to my house several times, and we wanted to get her treated. We don't want her at the house at this time because
Okay.
there's children there
Okay,
until she's get treatment.
got it.
Yeah, she has to get treatment. And this
Okay.
is my daughter as well.
Sure. Are you Ashley? All right. Hi, Ashley. Good morning.
Good morning.
So would you all be, was there anything you wanted to let me know specifically?
Specifically, yes, she's made death threats. And she's very violent.
So you all are just very concerned and want her to get some help?
Right.
Yes, we was
Got it.
trying to get her into a program where she's not volunteered, because if she has to volunteer, go, we looked at several different programs, and they said she has to voluntarily go, because we go through this.
I know.
Like a revolving door,
I know.
mental health. So we was trying to get an order where she has to be, and for,
You were trying to get her Baker acted?
Baker Act.
Or a Marchman
yes,
Act?
well, more than that, right, where she goes somewhere for a period of time where she could be educated. Because she was diagnosed with this at a adult age. So she's not in, what is it, like, she's in denial of her condition. So once she's discharged, she no longer takes the medicine.
Right.
And she feels nothing's wrong with her. So I've been trying to get her into a program where it's long-term. I've had a couple people that'll take her, but she won't voluntarily go in.
I feel for you, I really do. It's a terrible position to be in. It's difficult, right? Because she is an adult and she has autonomy and she can make her own choices, and she's not in the best frame of reference, it sounds like, to be able to make those choices for herself. So I have limited resources here today, but I do want to ask, are you okay if she has contact with you over the phone?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay.
I want to know what's going on with her.
Okay.
As far as physical contact, no,
Got
because
it.
she's continuously threatening me and physically harming
Sure,
me.
no, I understand that.
And I have an illness, so it's not safe, and I have my grandkids there, and she made threats towards them as well. And we understand it's because of the illness, but at the same time.
You got to keep everybody safe, right? No, I completely understand.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, so I guess I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent Ms. Green. Did you want to waive her appearance? Okay, so I won't reset the case. She has not been brought to court today because she's under mental health observation, which checks out, which is a good thing. And they will continue to observe her, and they will evaluate her for a Baker Act, and they will determine whether or not she needs to maybe go to another facility or what it is that they need to be able to do. So they will assess her. I, again, have found probable cause for the offense. The public defender is appointed. I'm going to set her bond at $500. I don't know if she has the ability to pay bond or not, or if that would be you. But if she doesn't pay that, then she'll continue to stay here and be evaluated. And
I
so,
know,
you know, I won't be, I'm just letting you know how that would work. For the conditions, though, I'm gonna order that she is not to have any contact with you, okay? Ashley, I don't have any jurisdiction over you because you're not a named victim, you're a witness. And so this is just against, you, ma'am, forgot your first name, Ramona. So that's just, it's just related to Ramona. So she's not to have any contact with you. I'm gonna put except through the phone, okay? Does she live at your house normally? Okay, so what I'm gonna say is that she's allowed to return one time with the police to get her things, and then she cannot possess any weapons or firearms. In the meantime, hopefully she gets some time to get everything sorted out. And hopefully there's some resources y'all are getting in contact with in the community for yourselves.
I've been going through this since, she was diagnosed at 17. I've been going through this
Oh.
17.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a really thin line, especially in Florida.
I know.
In New York, I got more assistance, but here it's just a thin line. And my thing is, far as her mental health, last time she came here, she went on to the unit. From my understanding, I can't remember recall the lady. Is it Stephanie? She deals with the mental health unit, counselor, and she was evaluated. She was transported to, not
Aspire?
Aspire, yes, because she's been in all of them.
Sure.
She's continuously being Baker Act. So she transferred her there. Will that be the same case as well?
I don't know. It could be. It just depends on how she's presenting and how she is, how well she is, or what she wants to do. You know, maybe at some point she'll want to go. I know.
But they deemed her as incompetent. I don't understand. I'm her proxy. They deemed her as incompetent to make decisions for herself. So how does a person that's been deemed by as incompetent to make, because I'm over her finances?
I don't have any answers for you. I'm sorry. I wish I did.
There's no way that they can have her go into a program like where she has to go for a period of time before.
Not through this process. This is a criminal proceeding, and so especially today is just a preliminary matter, just, you know, informing her what she was arrested for, what her bond is, and what her conditions of release are, and giving you an opportunity to be heard.
And Your Honor, I will notify the attorney assigned to the case that also have her evaluated by one of our mental health doctors. And I took notes about everything you stated here today, so we can see what type of services.
She was evaluated by the counsel. I can't recall her name. I worked real close with her, and she went to Aspire, but she has such a bad reputation there because she attacks them, the staff. So basically, they have to give her, I do nursing as well. So they have to give her the cocktail because she's not voluntarily going to take the medicine. So once they get the cocktail, then she kind of levels down a little where they're able to give her, and then she will take that one dose. And she's very smart and manipulative. So she knows what to say, when to say it, yes. So basically, they don't even stabilize her because she caused so much confusion with the other clients that's there being treated and staff. So they're ready to throw her out the door. You know what I mean? So she's not even fully treated when she goes.
Your Honor?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I did just want to note one thing. With regard to the witness, you can also say no contact with the witness as well, as she is a witness to it.
Thank you, Ms. Eugene. That is correct. So Ashley, I will add that to the order that she's not to have any contact with the witness. I will add that. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for hearing us out.
Absolutely. My heart goes out to you and
I'm
your
just
family and all
trying.
the families in these positions.
done-
It's tough.
Financially, emotionally, physically, we done exercised everything.
I know.
Everything.
I wish I could do more, and I wish you all the peace and luck moving forward.
It's a thin line, Florida.
know.
She has a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How long is the no contact?
Until the case has been completed. And I don't have any control over that either, so.
Can we go down and get a,
I know, yes.
yes, you can. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The clerk's office actually has a self-help center on the third floor of the courthouse, and they might be able to answer some more questions for you just regarding like the guardianship stuff. They might be able to help you, so that might be a good place to stop and ask a bunch of your questions.
She has.
Okay, all right. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
One-time return. Mr. Kershid? All right, did you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and that's 23 MM 3834. Mr. Kershid was arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent him. He is not to have any contact with the alleged victim, maintain a separate residence. He can have a one-time return with the police, and he's not to possess any weapons or firearms. Bond is $500. Ms. Lorenzo? Ma'am, this is 23 MM 3832. You were arrested for battery dating violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Are you Ms. Ruiz?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ruiz, did you want to have contact with Ms. Lorenzo?
Yes, please.
Are you afraid of her?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any concerns about your safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
No, ma'am.
How long have you been in a relationship?
3 years in June.
Okay, have there been any instances of violence between the two of you in the past?
No, ma'am.
All right, any questions, Ms. Eugene?
No, Your Honor.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Lorenzo, at this time, I am going to order that you are to not have any hostile contact. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you can't act aggressive in any way. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Megan, did you give me an updated one on her? Yes. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Okay.
All right, so you'll be released later today.
Thank you.
Did you have any questions?
So when you say later today, do I have to, like, is there anything I can do to?
No, she's just going to call you when she's ready to get picked up. She doesn't have to post a monetary bond. She's going to be on pretrial release.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Also, I'm so sorry. I just want to put on the record, I love you so much. And yes, if I just can drop the charges, I would want to add that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, you're all set, ma'am. Are you Miss Middleton?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, ma'am, good morning. This is 23 MM 3833. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any,
Oh, sorry. I didn't know if her mother wanted to say anything, Your Honor. She is present.
oh, okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you tell me your name, please?
Seisha Tate.
You're Miss Tate?
Yes.
All right, and you're Miss Middleton's mother?
Yes.
Okay, what would you like to tell me this morning?
We're from out of town. So we were here on vacation. And, I just, want to know if she will be released, what will happen, because we're from Chicago.
Got it. Is Mr. Taylor as well?
Miss Taylor, that's my husband.
Got it. And he's not present today?
No, he isn't.
So because he is not present, I have to order that you're not to have any contact with him. You're going to have to maintain a separate residence. Do you live with your parents?
No.
Okay. So you'll have to maintain a separate residence. You can't possess any weapons or firearms. How are y'all getting home?
Actually leave on Sunday morning.
Are you flying or driving?
Flying.
Flying, okay. So you're gonna need to get a seat not next to him on the airplane, okay? And then you do qualify for pretrial release. And so I will state in the order that you can return to Illinois, and then you'll be checking in by phone with the pretrial release office. If the state of Florida decides that they want to file formal charges against you for this offense, you will have to return to Florida, otherwise they will issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you have any questions about anything that I've ordered?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Tate, anything else?
No.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. She'll be released later today.
Do you know what time?
I don't. How long do you think it's gonna take to, good morning. How are you?
He said
It's just we don't know. You think? Yeah.
Only reason I was asking is because we're staying in a resort in Kissimmee.
Right.
And I Ubered to get here. And so I didn't know.
It's far, I know.
Yeah.
I would probably, if I were you,
Just kind of stick around.
I would maybe, the Millennium Mall is right over there.
Okay.
It's not that far from here. Would be an inexpensive Uber ride to go to the Millennium Mall. I just can't give you a time.
That's fine.
Okay? All right. Thank you.
Yeah. That's what she just told her. She said,
All right. Thank you, Ms. Middleton.
just call her.
Sir, good morning. Are you Mr. Sledge?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, this is 23MM 3831. You arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. You can return one time with the police to get your things, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about what I've ordered?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sledge.
Gotta sign the no contact order.
Okay. Yes. State.
She gave you a one-time return with law enforcement to get your stuff, but you can't never. You gotta call law enforcement to go get your stuff.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Turner?
Yes, ma'am.
This is 23MM 3831. You were arrested for battery, domestic violence, and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You can have a one-time return with the police to get your things, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Do you have any questions about what I've ordered?
Questions, ma'am.
All right. Your bond on count one is going to be 500. Your bond on count two is 100. And then I'm revoking the bond in 21 CF 12098.
You're revoking the bond?
I am, or the release.
Does it have to be, Your Honor?
Pardon me?
Does it have to be, Your Honor?
Yes. And so bond is going to be set at none in that case, and that's a Division 14 case.
So I will not be able to be released today, correct?
That's right. Yep, you'll need to contact, it looks like Mr. Goudry is representing you, so just give him a call and he'll have to file a bond motion in Division 14.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Oops. Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you're here for an out-of-county warrant out of St. Johns County related to possession of cocaine. Your bond is set at none, and St. Johns County will come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
You know how long till they come?
St. Johns County is generally 72 hours, and they don't come on the weekend, so I would look for them maybe on Tuesday. Okay? Thank you. Sir? Are you Mr. Denias? Sir, this is an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County related to you failing to appear while driving on a suspended license. Your bond is $495, sir. If you're unable to post that bond, Seminole County will come and pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there.
When?
Pardon me?
When?
When? Probably Monday.
Monday? So what do I do next?
What do you do next? Either post your bond or wait for them to come.
100?
Pardon me?
You said 400, right?
500, 495. Mr. Dexter?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Dexter, you were here on a fugitive warrant out of Bradley County, Tennessee. Our fugitive department is going to come and see you on Thursday. They come on Thursdays.
Fugitive, what is that?
It's an out-of-state warrant. The only information I have at this time is it says Orange County Corrections provided me a confirmed warrant out of Tennessee for the defendant identified as Armani Dexter. The warrant will be served while you are in custody at the Orange County Booking and Release Center. And it's, like I said, it's in Bradley County, Tennessee. But they'll come see you on Thursday if you're, well, on this case. And they'll have all the paperwork and be able to explain the process to you.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you, sir. Ms. Ramirez? All right, I'll find a waiver based upon her refusal to come to court. This is an out-of-county Osceola warrant. Her bond is set at none and will remain set at none. Sir, are you Mr. Weber?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is an out-of-county on-view violation of probation, the basis of which is you're committing a petty theft on May 31st of this year in Ocoee, Florida. Your bond, sir, will remain at none, and Volusia County will come and pick you up once you've resolved your Orange County cases. Don't talk to me about the facts of your case. If you have a question about the process, I'll be happy to try to answer it.
I already talked to my probation officer, and she's not violating me due to the report and stuff. I paid the bail and everything. I thought I had an attorney.
Do you have an attorney on your Volusia County case?
No, ma'am.
All right, so you,
I thought I had a public defender, but I also, last night before lockdown, I thought I had another attorney hired for my girlfriend.
okay,
She's a VOP lawyer.
okay.
Do I have a public defender or?
So I believe that the Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you on the cases I saw you for earlier this week.
Yesterday, yes, ma'am.
Yesterday. And so they would be, Ms. George, would you just make a note, please, or email the lawyer assigned to the case from yesterday that he's here on a Volusia County VOP and that he's indicated the probation officer is not gonna violate him. Your probation officer would know the appropriate paperwork that she would need to
She told me that
file.
she sent it in.
Okay, but I can't do anything about that today, so I'm just telling you, I'm letting Miss George know that to let the lawyers know to do what they need to do to take care of that, okay?
I got it.
Thank you. Mantilla? You want to waive? Ms.
Yes,
George?
Your Honor.
Okay. This is 22 CF 1839 Jacqueline Mantilla. It's a violation of probation pursuant to a probable cause warrant. Her bond is set at none and will remain at none. Riddle? Okay, I'll waive his appearance based upon his refusal to come to court in 21 CF 16110. He was arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for violation of probation. His bond is set at none and will remain at none. Silva?
She's on mental health status. Defense will waive, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's 20 CF 12231. Jennifer Silva. She was arrested pursuant to a probable cause warrant for violation of probation. Her bond is set at none and will remain at none. Ms. Eugene, were you set?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. 23 CF 5527, Zachariah Smith.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. 23 CF 5691, Matthew Mangiello.
Granted, case was no billed.
Granted. 23 CF 5115, Chantel Henderson.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. 23 CF 5579, Frank Satsa.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. 23 CF 2451, Frederick Gregory.
Granted, case was no billed.
Granted. 23 CF 5598, Daniel Griffith.
Denied, and information was filed.
23 CF 5794, David Gross.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. 23 CF 5718, Dominique Terrell.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. 23 CF 5612, Luis Torres.
Denied, and information was filed.
Denied. 23 CF 5705, Demetrio Garcia.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
That'll be granted. 23 CF 1857, Lorenzo Johnson Jr.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. 23 CF 5287, Wolf Lindor.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Granted. Okay. All right. And then court will be in recess.